নমস্কার। আজকে আমাদের যুক্তিযুদ্ধে আমাদের সঙ্গে রয়েছেন স্বরাজ ইন্ডিয়ার ন্যাশনাল জেনারেল সেক্রেটারি ডক্টর অজিত কুমার ঝা। ডক্টর ঝা, it is an immense pleasure to have you in
Thank
here
you.
with us. Very good evening to you. So, to start with, you are so probably amongst one of the nascent parties, political parties of the country now, but you have made certain impacts in certain areas till date. So, after the formation of the party, perhaps the first time you had participated or contested, I would rather say, in an election was in the MCD elections in Delhi, perhaps back in 2017 March.
Yeah.
So, would you kindly share the experience as a nascent political party? What was the experience in that election?
Experience of that election is very instructive, positive, as well as challenging. Let me tell you upfront that in that election we did not win a single seat. We were not number 2 on any seat. We were number 3 in some of the seats. The maximum vote which we could gather was around about 6,000 votes. Even that was less than 1,500 from the winning margin. Most of the candidates did not secure more than 500 votes. So analyzing this, one can conclude that it was not useful for a party to contest election. But that will be a misreading of our participation. Though as an organized party, we had no money. So there were no hoardings, no banners from central unit of the party or Delhi unit of the party. But as far as our candidates are concerned, most of our candidates were very serious candidates, very high quality candidates. They could generate resources locally and they could propagate ideas and agenda of party locally.
So, when you say high quality candidates,
high quality candidates in the sense that they were significant public workers of the area.
Okay.
They were working in the locality for many years. They had one or other kind of distinctions. Either they were very highly educated, very eminent social worker, or working on very innovative issues.
right.
Things like that.
So, different people were working with different
fact,
issues.
If today many of the mainstream parties, if they think on fielding candidates again,
right.
I think many of them will try to pick up our candidates. They will try to approach them and to make them their own candidate. In that sense, we had a significant number of high quality candidates. I don't say that everyone was of very high quality. No, everyone was not. But very large number of our candidates were very high quality candidates.
So, about the quality of candidates, of course, I'll come back later more on that thing. So, if we look into to move along from the MCD elections, if we then more recently you have for the Karnataka elections, right?
Yeah.
And in Karnataka elections for Swaraj India, I think in one of the seats you came second and very close.
Yeah, very close, very close.
However, for the rest of the seats, I think there wasn't that much of a response in there.
That is true.
So, why do you think this differentiation in different places? That at one place you came so close, however, you are not making much impact in others.
So in a way, the seat where we came very close And even in the seat where we get very less votes, most of these seats you cannot say that this is beginning of Swaraj India.
Okay.
Most of these candidates belong to Karnataka Raj Rayat Sangh.
So they had been social figures, associated with social
At
movements.
one
and all.
time, Karnataka Raj Rayat Sangh was very big movement in Karnataka. At its peak, it decided not to contest election. At one stage, it decided to contest election, and it emerged as a very significant political force in Karnataka. After that, there were many splits and decline of the movement. Now, some of the leaders and factions of that movement, they joined Swaraj India. And most of the candidates belong to that grouping. This particular seat where we came very close to winning, in that particular seat, Rayat Sangha in last election, they had won that seat.
Okay.
So we had a sitting MLA. K.S. Putnaiya was sitting MLA, second time MLA from that constituency, very popular figure. Unfortunately, he died just before elections.
Okay.
So whole organization get disoriented, and K.S. Putnaiya, who was main political leader of the party, who would have organized campaign not only in his own constituency but in other constituencies also.
As well, right?
So whole organization got disoriented,
right. Okay.
and we lost that seat also. That is true.
And did much poorly in the rest of the Karnataka as well, right?
But but our general understanding and general experience is that until and unless you contest election, people don't realize that you are a political organization, particularly if your primary identity is not political. If your primary identity is of class organization or social movement.
So you're saying you don't get that much of an importance, or you cannot make that much of an impact in the thought process or the narrative of the society.
Until now, when you are contesting election, then people start thinking, okay, they are the people who are political party also. Then a new kind of conversation start. New kind of scrutiny will also start. New kind of questions will also start.
Right.
And without going through that process, you cannot emerge as a political force. So that's why, knowing well that we may not fare very good in this election, but again, as was the case in Delhi Municipal Corporation election, in this election also, our candidates, most of our candidates were of very high quality candidates.
Okay.
And definitely they will emerge as a very significant political force in times to come.
Right. Okay, so now let me move on to the big question. We have the Lok Sabha elections in 2019, right?
Yeah.
And so what do you think will be the role of Swaraj India in that 2019 Lok Sabha elections?
See, our understanding is that Modi government is losing popularity very fast. That is our understanding. It is true that at present...
So this is from perception by interacting with people, or you are depending on the surveys and all that?
No, not primarily on the surveys. Those surveys are confirming our perceptions.
Okay.
Surveys are confirming our interaction with the people, our own personal interaction and feedback. All surveys are confirming that. But the reality is so clear and so stark that you need not rely on any survey. You just move anywhere, in any segment of population. Go to any market, go to any village, go to any locality. It is very difficult to find any section of the population who may say that they have gained under Modi regime. It is almost impossible to find any significant social group, any significant section of population.
Well, it is definitely, there is a stark difference between what was the situation in 2013 and what it is now, of course. But then there are voices standing behind Modi. Of course, they have gone down significantly.
No, there are voices. I'm not saying that. That is a different question. Whether he is winning election or losing election, I'm not predicting that. What I am saying is that at popular level, people feel that Modi government is of no use to them. Be it Kisans, be it educated youth, be it uneducated youth, be it small businesses, be it vendors, be it self-employed. There is no significant section of population.
Of course, these are the issues also coming out for the election.
There
as
is
well,
no
emerging,
significant
right?
section of population who feel that Modi government has benefited them. This is a very serious thing for any government, any incumbent government. No government lose election only on that basis.
Of course.
For winning and losing elections, other issues also come into the picture. But this is most fundamental and basic issue. That is our understanding. And our understanding is that due to political reason and due to variety of reason, due to the authoritarian character of Modi regime, centralized character of Modi regime, many political forces will come together against Modi. And given this...
well, that is happening, right? So the opposition is consolidating. We are seeing that. So almost a singular opposition front is being...
So given the distress of the people, opposition front may be a default beneficiary, as Modi and BJP were default beneficiary
in the last
of the anger of the people against Congress regime.
In 2015,
That is one. Our second understanding is that in 10 years of UPA regime, when many anti-people policies were pursued, many corruption scandals came up, BJP, though having a very strong parliamentary presence, it did not play any real role of opposition. Real role of opposition was played by social movements, mass movement, people's movement.
Well, apart from maybe beyond 2011, they came up very strongly, understanding that there is a great anger amongst the people, and
even then, the anger of people was reflected and articulated through autonomous movement. Resistance to the regime came from people, not from BJP. BJP
they capitalized
on that. It was a default option.
Right.
Our understanding is similarly, when Modi inflicted misery after misery on the people, it was people who resisted. It was not the Congress, it was not the Lalu Yadav, it was not the most of the Mahagathbandhan parties who were standing with the people.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. But then at any point in time, even the people's anger, right, they find a voice through a leader, right, which was, of course, Modi for a long time. They found a leader.
It may get reflected through leader, it may get reflected through a one party, it may get reflected through a coalition.
Which is now getting reflected from various places, right?
That depends on situation. But as a political party and as a citizen, our understanding is that we should create a situation where these established parties should not become a default option. As BJP became default option in 2014,
right.
Mahagathbandhan may become default option this time, and basically they pursue same policies. Their attitude towards people are the same. Recently, lots of activists were arrested under an UAPA provisions are being invoked. Now this UAPA provision was brought in by Congress regime.
Yes.
And all the arguments which BJP regime is giving for UAPA, same arguments were given by
Congress at that point in time. Right.
Regime.
So anybody has
Congress regime. So if you want democratization of society, if you want pro-people policies, it is impossible to trust these parties. So serious political forces and serious citizens, concerned citizens who are interested in the good of the nation and society, they have to try to create independent political force which can reflect and represent popular aspiration. And that is our role. And we will play that role.
So you are saying that we are neither with BJP, of course, not with, that came out from yours, what you were saying, and you are neither with Congress either, or the Congress-led coalition, so to say.
So I will put it differently. I will say that Modi regime has betrayed the trust of the people.
They had got a huge mandate in 2014.
Modi regime has inflicted miseries on the people. We must resist, and we are resisting. We have resisted Modi regime more than the Congress, more than the mainstream parties. We articulated anger of the Kisan. We articulated their demands. It was not the Congress that was articulating that demand. It was social movements, parties like ours, which articulated that. So Modi regime must go. There cannot be any confusion about that. They are destroying all institutions. They are inflicting insecurity in the mind of people. They are spreading hatred. They are dividing society. This regime must go. There is no question of that. But in every election, if every citizen and every political force confine itself only to the throwing of the existing regime, then what it will generate? It will generate depoliticization. As a citizen, as a voter, as a concerned political force, our only job will become replacing one government by another. This will depoliticize society. That will be very dangerous for the nation. That's why it may take a long period of preparation. It may require long period of incubation, but idea of popular politics and popular assertion in the politics has to be articulated. There is no choice, and we will be articulating that.
So, with time coming close, I'll come back to a few points that you have raised previously. High quality of candidates, you have talked many a times, and you have again said that BJP and Congress, they are just two sides of the same coin, right? So what Swaraj India is doing to bring in better candidates, and that you are saying better quality candidates and all. So what is your what's the change that you are bringing when you are saying we are for alternate politics, we are the third force?
2-3 things. One of the most important thing is it is easy to blame anybody, so I will not like to trivialize the issue, but it is a common perception and fact that most of the leaders of mainstream parties are not political social workers but entrepreneurs. Most political entrepreneurs, for most of them,
definitely for BJP and Congress, I agree.
For most of them, politics is a kind of side business. When they are MPs or MLAs, they are involved in that. When they are not MPs and MLAs, they are doing other businesses. It is through the machinery, structure, money, resources, they play out their politics. The basic function of politics of organizing, uniting, mobilizing, or articulating popular issues and popular masses, they are not doing that for many years. In Swaraj India, whosoever belong to Swaraj India and whosoever are Swaraj India leaders or probable candidates, they are the people who takes politics very seriously, who takes social work very seriously.
So primarily of the movement people, right?
Yeah. Politics for them is not business. That is one thing. Number 2, we need to be very serious about the issues and agenda which is before the country. What are the issues which must be resolved? what are the concerns of the people which must be resolved, and there should be certain urgency and certain commitment for those issues. For example, agrarian distress, for example, jobs to unemployed, public abilities are in such dismal state, even metropolitan cities. When you come out of your house, you can't never be sure how much time it will take you to reach your destination. Maybe 10 kilometer, maybe 15 kilometer. In probably the richest city of the country, in Delhi, if you go, it is so dirty, so polluted.
Polluted, of course, yeah.
It is shameful.
So you are saying that you are bringing up leaders, or you
are bringing real leaders, real issues.
Who will be talking about these kind of issues?
Real issues, and those who are not asking people to follow them.
Okay.
They are doing politics as a part of society.
Okay. So for them, politics or political movements are a process.
They will become leader only if they serve people. They are not going to people as a new Rajas and Maharajas.
Right.
That we are your benefactor, you vote us, if you will vote. It is public money, it is public resources which will be spent.
Right.
But our leaders present themselves, they say, maine tumko ye de diya. Modi went to Bihar and he said, mango, kitna chahiye? Main tumko. This is a pathetic state of.
Yes, of course.
We are in a democracy.
Yeah. And in 21st century too.
Yeah.
So that was a brilliant conversation with you, Dr. Jha. Thank you very much for your time and presence. Thank you. আজকে আমাদের যুক্তিযুদ্ধ আমরা এখানেই শেষ করছি। নমস্কার।